random night just outside of D.C. at FedEx Field. Tonight, the stage is set for our final Thursday night game of the year between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll start the drive with Samuels. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. Now this defense for the Commanders, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Samuels again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Straight ahead running. Here's Samuels. And able to work his way down to the 16. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Now Rodgers. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Now Rodgers. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Shotgun handoff to Samuels. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there, with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. First and 10 here for Hal and the Commanders at their own 25-yard line. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Slot man moves right. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And if you're wondering just how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats says 21.8 miles per hour. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, I sure wouldn't be surprised if we see more of this as this game goes on, because we know they like to use their wideouts either on quick throws or on jet sweeps like what we just saw there. And to say that that one worked well, partner, that's stating the obvious.
1st and goal and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. One more time with Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Commanders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are the things you have to look out for in games like this. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers over the middle here. It's hauled in by Watson. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's Rodgers to throw. Quick slant to Watson. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line. His 4th catch already in this first quarter. It's a first down. These two teams all tied after one. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Christian Watson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. 3rd and long. Here's Howell. He's going to go up top again. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's taken at around the 40. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 21. A gain there of 21 yards. Rodgers now on 1st down. Touchdown, Packers. Mike Gesicki from 21 yards away. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 1st down Washington on a pickup of 18. On 1st down, right back to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll go again with Gibson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll run with Gibson. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. This time they'll throw it with Howell. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has to get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Howell, he finds his man, complete. That's Beck. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. To the ground with Gibson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
He finds his man, complete. It's Bush. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snaps, and they're there, and they end up making...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands, but could not hang on.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from adding another catch to his big start.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And some room to work. Touchdown, Washington. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
An extra point by Sly is up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw taken in here by Fuller. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll hand it off now to Samuels. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On second down, Samuels. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 48 yards on the ground for him so far.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now if you're the defense, you're running into 2 on 3rd down, you're a little off balance.
On play action, now Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. On now is the Packers punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down. They go play action with Howell. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Throwing here, Howell. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taken right around the 44. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Throwing is Rodgers. And he'll just get rid of it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Like how they started the 3rd quarter here. They forced a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll complete this one to Watson. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
He's got Fuller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That pickup goes for 25. What a flip of the script from 4th down to 1st. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Mike Gesicki with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point attempt here still to come. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. The last series for them a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. He finds his man, complete. It's Bush. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 1st down Washington on a pickup of 18.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Powell to the air on 1st and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Commanders are going to take possession here at their own 33. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down, They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Under pressure, and they got to him again. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be third and forever. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Kenny Clark busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly. But that time, it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
This game just keeps evolving and changing, doesn't it? You got a tight end who can move around a lot, not necessarily using a big body on him. Sometimes you take a corner, a better cover guy, and put him on him and try and take him out of the game as we've seen in this one.
You're exactly right. They've taken him out of the game. That was just his first catch. Big reason they're losing right now. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. On the counter, Gibson.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
To throw on 2nd and 6.
Powell, that's out to the flat for Gibson.
Touchdown! Antonio Gibson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that big-time drive right there? If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season.
will step aside. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Commanders are right back in this football game.
A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case,
and for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Packers are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We got two. Do I hear three? Remember, if it's two in a row, we'll be hit three in a row because these offenses, they got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown to 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
On first down, it's Samuels. 54 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Every yard they gain getting them better and better field position, and obviously a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of his sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot? No lost yardage plays. Let's kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. If we score a touchdown, great. But that's not what you're really playing for.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Commanders are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard in the last timeout on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And you definitely saw his coaches, teammates come over to him on the sideline, trying to help him shake it off because in this game, his team is down right now. So it's important to make sure you get some confidence back for both the quarterback and the entire offense. Otherwise, those mistakes could continue to pile up. Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a 1-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Here's Howell.
And that will be
incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Fourth down, Howell, desperation time. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Jair Alexander, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Their fourth down, they felt compelled to go for it, and he throws the INT.
Yeah, he knows that you can't take a sack there, so he had to try and force one in. Now, this might not be a throw he makes if we're in the second quarter, but he had to take the chance there, and this one wound up being intercepted.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Rodgers to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Rodgers throwing here. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Howell to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
4th down. Howell. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Trying the left side with Samuels. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll have a few extra days here now before they face the Lions next week. Meanwhile, for Washington, they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts.